Pajama Bosses, this is Masha.
And this is Miguel.
How are you doing? If you're right here with us, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you can't afford to take a day off because you're too afraid you're going to break the momentum that you worked so hard for and actually build it over all those months and years? Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like you really want to take a vacation, but you really can't afford to because your team really needs you, right, Miguel?
Yes.
If you've ever felt like this, you're not alone. We've certainly been like this. Now, if you don't know us, our names are Masha and Miguel. We call ourselves Pajama Bosses, and we help six-figure earners in network marketing to scale their businesses by helping them to create team duplication systems. And guess what? We've been in network marketing for almost 12 years, literally built tens of thousands of people in teams all around the world. And now we focus to really help leaders to do what we did in our own team, which is implement systems and scale their businesses. And in today's video, we're really excited, right, Miguel?
We are, because if you have felt like this or you feel like that, don't worry, because there is a solution. We used to feel like that. We used to feel like, oh, am I going to be able to take a break? If I take a break, what is going to happen to my team? So what should I do? What have I been doing, or what have I missed that I got to this point and I feel like I'm working and I'm kind of on a treadmill, just a different one from a job, right? A job, but still kind of a treadmill, because if you stop working, you feel like your team is gonna stop.
That's right. I totally remember it. We were almost earning six figures. We're just hitting that six-figure mark. And we were working literally 14 to 16 hours a day. And we were afraid to even take an hour off every day because everything depended on us. And then fast forward about 6 months from there, I remember finally we went to Europe, and our families took us on a vacation on a boat. And so we actually had no internet connection. We couldn't actually check our team, what they're doing, and that was actually the proof of what we were doing. Because all of a sudden, about 6 days later, we actually came into a port, and you know what? We settled in and we were having dinner with our families. And I remember finally getting Wi-Fi on my phone and checking in and seeing that we've just had the best week ever.
So that was good news, right?
That was amazing news. But going back now on what we actually did and what you can do so you can turn the situation around. Would you guys like that? If you'd like that, give us some likes, give us some hearts, tell us your name and where you're dialing in from. And if you're getting value, drop a 1 below this video, because this is going to be super important so that you can actually create more leverage, so that you can actually create the business that goes around your life and not the other way around. And that's where we see most leaders getting stuck, right?
That's right. So as Masha said, we were super scared, but it turns out that what we were doing and the things that we had implemented did work and were working. We were just afraid. So today we're going to give you 3 things that you can actually go and implement from today that are going to help you with your business. So when you take time off, that you will have eventually to take time off no matter what happens, right? Then you can see the leverage, really how it kicks in your business. So you guys ready?
Are you guys ready? Here it is. The first reason you're experiencing this is because you are in charge, or you are involved in all of the closing in your team. So most probably you're doing a lot of 3-way calls, conference calls, events, meetings, where you're kind of the main leader who actually brings the validation to the close. And that is, it's always like that. When your business is actually dependent on your time, dependent on your ability and your story to be able to help close, it is quite often that we actually are afraid to step out, and rightly so, because if we stepped out, the business would actually slow down, and that's what we were experiencing continuously. And what did we do, Miguel, to fix that?
Well, we created a system. We created things. We created, the edification formulas. We created so many things that then people could actually use. So we didn't have to do it ourselves all the time. So we would, in the same way, we would be teaching people how to close.
That's right. And one of the best things we created, and actually we're going to share this more on our upcoming training, which is coming out this week. The link is just about this video. It's pajamabosses.com/leaders. We're going to train exactly what we did. In fact, we implemented what we call the master validation tool. So when we couldn't be on a 3-way call telling the story, when we couldn't be dialing into a meeting where there was lots of prospects listening, we actually had a tool that not only shared our story, story, but overcame objections and actually prompted the prospects to take action immediately. And so if you're right now afraid to step out of your business because it would slow down immediately, I think one of the main things you're going to want to do is make sure you're not one of the main people that is always closing by implementing this master validation tool, right?
That's right, which brings us to the second point. And the second point is, maybe the reason that you feel you can't step out of your business just for a little while is because you're working with so many people at the same time, right? We want to help so many people. When we start this business, we just want to help everyone, right? And as your team grows and grows and grows, eventually there's so much time you have during the day, right? Have you felt like that before? You have a lot of people that you're talking to every single day.
Absolutely.
You're doing all the closing because, you know, nobody can do it as good as you do, right? So first of all, as Masha said, the closing, you can use formulas, you can use systems, or let's say a process where you can actually teach people as they actually go and do the things that they need to do to learn to close, right? The second thing is this one here, right? The rule of the inner circle. So I guess you guys know where we're going with that, right? Instead of working with 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, you physically cannot do that.
Right.
This is what Masha and I did. We created smaller and smaller and smaller groups until we had about 10 people in a very close inner circle group. They were the leaders. They were actually taking the most action. They were ready to learn more. And those were the ones that we were working more closely and teaching how to do this business. So then they could go and expand their circle. So here's how it works. Let's say that you have 200-300 people right now that you're trying to work together. Instead of doing that, try to bring it only to about 10 maybe. Then those 10 can have 10 each, and as you can see, you have more time.
So it's all about creating layers of leadership, guys. It's really very important that you identify who are the top 10 action takers. Who are the people in your team right now that deserve your time the most? Once you identify them, you need to understand that is your first level leadership. Now, they may not be sponsored by you directly, but these are the people you work with directly, right? So that are layers of leadership. And really, when you only have about 10 people that you're working with, not only can you progress faster, but guess what? You are actually leveraging your resources much faster. At the same time as working with them, you're teaching them to do the same. So how many people are you working with immediately? If your 10 inner circle is working with 10 of their inner circle, right? That's 110 people immediately. And so it's about creating those layers of leadership, and it's about sometimes letting go a little bit of control and understanding that the more we can actually trust and empower people and actually choose the right people, that's how it will actually leverage our time and grow faster. And not only that, I think it's really about the fact that each and every single month you need to be actually thinking about whether these 10 people are actually going to be always the same. You know, as we know, things can change very quickly in the network marketing business. So it's very important that, you know, occasionally you're actually replacing some of the people in your inner circle. Now, you don't need to be telling them you do not deserve to be in this inner circle. You simply are dedicating more time to someone else who's actually just up and coming and actually identifying themselves as a leader, right?
You can put some rules, right? Like it's a two-way street. If you guys do this every single month, you will qualify for the next month to be in the inner circle with me, so you can learn all these things, right? So people are motivated to actually do the things, take the action, the right things, so they can be in the inner circle with you and grow the business with you, right? So far so good, guys. Are we doing well? Yes? Now, the next question would be, so what happens with everybody else? What do I do? You know, I cannot reach everyone, but I still need to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, right? That they learn things, that they do something so they can become the leader that then can join my inner circle so I can teach them the next level, right?
That's right. And so what is some of the best way of creating leverage, guys? If you can guess this, drop a 2 below this video. What is the best way to create leverage? Let me take, drop a 2 down below this video. Well, it's about creating leaders. And so if you had some way of having a leadership development process that you could put on autopilot, wouldn't that mean that you could go to sleep and some leaders would be developing while you slept? I mean, it doesn't quite work exactly like that, but you understand the principle. It's really about creating a leadership development training system in your team. And if you don't already have one that goes step by step and delivers the right training to the right person at the right time of their business, like if I just signed up yesterday, surely you're not going to teach me about the advanced leadership techniques just yet, right? I'm gonna have to go through some basic skills and really implement them, learn them, and then move on from there. Now, when you can have that, Miguel, when you can have that leadership development process, that's when you can truly let go and stop being afraid. Stop being afraid about momentum breaking down.
That is the coolest thing that can happen in your business. And this is what happened to us. We used to, probably the same as you today, you know, we used to do the presenting, we used to do the closing, then the training, and then again and again, and repeat and repeat and repeat. And then they would think, oh my God, how am I going to scale up my business? It's just impossible. When you have 2,000 people, 3,000 people, and the thing keeps growing and growing and growing, right? So when we started implementing that, one of the things that we did, and again, you know, we did a while back, and we evolved and we've changed the whole way we actually deliver that, is we found ourselves repeating ourselves, for example, with how to get started, how to do the first week, how to do the first month, how to do the first 3 months in the business, the first year in the business, because everybody needs to have a different type of training as they go along your business and they learn new skills, right?
That's
so
right.
You're not going to teach the skills of somebody that has been in the business for 1 year to somebody that starts today. So when you do that, what we did, for example, one of the things we said, oh, let's just, you know, record some things, that we make some DVDs and we just give it to our team so they can all follow the same thing.
Wow.
Now, that was a 1990 something kind of a thing, and it was an expensive exercise, but it did pay off because everybody was following that system.
And literally within 6 months of doing that, guys, we were able to not now completely let go and just have total freedom and earn 7 figures. No, that's not what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is that you're able to take a day off, that you're able to go on vacation every now and then, that you're able to actually scale your business. See, the more important thing about not just taking time off, if you want to actually scale your business from where you're at right now to 7 figures, you really can't keep doing what you're doing because you're overstretched, you're at the center of your business, the business is dependent on you and not dependent on a system. And so for you to go from where you are today to be able to scale your business, you really need to be implementing some of those things. And like we said, in our training this week, if you go to pajamabosses.com/leaders, which is just about this video, go ahead right now, click on that link and register for our free training. And we're gonna go into the detail of how Miguel and I created a team duplication system that actually has 4 different types of leverage and actually helps you to not just break, afraid not to be breaking momentum, but it's about scaling the business as you have more time to spend on the income producing activities.
That's right. So you don't need to print any DVDs. You don't need to go somebody in China and get you like thousands of DVDs and spend money on that. There is something called social media. There is something called internet, right? And that's what we do today. We use the leverage of the social media and the internet and system that we can use through that, so we can reach everyone around the world seamlessly. So this is the thing that we're going to be teaching on that webinar. One of the things that we're going to be teaching, and how you can actually see and picture a life that's where your business doesn't depend on you, it depends on a system, which makes a huge difference. So that's how we did to us.
So if you want to scale your business, if you're ready to be able to actually take some time off and actually have a day off every now and then and still have a growing 6-figure business and a business that is scalable, then be sure to join us on our free training later this week. Until then, make sure that you drop a 3 down below this video if you got some value. Go ahead and like it, share it, and we're going to talk to you really soon again. Bye for now.